What's going on, YouTube? Finally back at it. Um, if, if you watched any of my videos previously, I had a Scion TC. Um, I got rear-ended and it totaled. Lost cause. There was no need in trying to fix it. But this will be the replacement. It's a 1995 240SX. Um, got it pretty much for a steal. Uh, but lack of better terms, it's a rust bucket. I mean, bad. Like this car came, you know, it come from up north. So I've done a few things to it. Gave it a good old change. New tires. Tires were pretty shot. Um, the guy I got it from, he was in Jackson, Mississippi. So I drove. I literally drove this car from Jackson, Mississippi to Lexington, Tennessee. Um, but yeah, it's an okay running car. It's got the KA, the less desirable. But I'm gonna dive into all this and show you the problems of this car and what I have to work with. So let's jump into it. Okay, so starting from the engine bay, it's actually a pretty clean KA24. Missing a few things like a reservoir. I'm using a freaking Meliello bottle as a reservoir. It's working for now. But what it does have, it's got long tube headers. Before I got a hold of the exhaust, there was actually no exhaust and was welding, or I welded some scrap exhaust for the time being, and it's working just fine at the moment. Beforehand, it was just rusted at the tip. Another thing, that's just one of the many things I got to fix on this thing. Another thing, for example, these lights are not in at all. They're literally held by zip ties. So is this entire bumper. It's stitched by zip ties, held on by zip ties. The side skirt, held on by zip ties. Don't think God knew what he was doing, being honest. Got a lot of cosmetic problems. Missing the blinkers and fog lights. I got some blinkers on order. I'm hoping they'll fit. But that is literally the least concern of my issues. So if you look right here, this is a big rust out area, and over here is the same problem. From the looks of it, the guy used the skirts to cover up most of the rust. You can look here. I got a lot of work ahead of me to get this body back into shape. I'm gonna need a lot of steel to do this, but we're gonna jump in and I'm gonna do my best on it. As far as interior stuff goes, interior is pretty clean, no cracks. It did have a busted windshield. The guy said wind caught the hood and folded it back and busted the windshield, but we got a new windshield on that. Radio does not work. It turns on, but there's no noise in the speakers. I'm not worried about that because this is going to be a toy. I'm not worried about luxurious stuff like radios and whatnot. Very minor tears in the seats. Always 5-speed when you get in cars like this. but I'm gonna raise her up and show you the primary concern that I have with this car. So, our primary concern. I can do this stupid thing to focus. But if you look right here, all the pinch welds are pretty much dry rotted and falling off. Even all the way back here around the gas tank. Gas tank's not leaking, surprisingly, but the driver's side is the worst of it. You can push right here and it gives. So definitely came from up north. Looks like this car has had a very, very rough life. But for the exhaust, I pretty much took this steel pipe here. I cut the soft part of all the rust, cleaned it off, rusted this steel pipe to here, and put this bend here. Added more steel pipe. I welded on this hanger, and then took a let me back up. This steel pipe is 2 1/4, or excuse me, 2 1/2, and then I went to 2 3/4 at the tip here. I haven't completed it yet. I'm probably gonna put a muffler, street muffler on it for now, but this is what I got to work with. As far as leaks go, I see very minimal leakage. The clutch line here, I'm pretty sure that this was the clutch line and they decided to go with this, but this was leaking. Just a quick tightening up at the fitting on the reservoir and fix that problem. But yeah, back when I was 17, I had an S13 93 model, which I never got rid of it, and been scouring all of the earth for a replacement, and prices are just so jacked up high that it was damn near impossible to find. But yeah, this is gonna be some work, most definitely. Another thing is my Nissan struts. These are pretty shot, front and rear. Then I'm probably gonna go with a full tube K-members front and rear. When I do the struts and shocks. Guy said that he just replaced brake lines because they were so rusted out that they were leaking. I need some new sway bars too. These are pretty dry rotted. But yeah, all in all, the car runs okay. There's no hiccups, no problems running. But I mean, I'm not entirely sure what route I'm going to go with this car. Everybody wants to drift them, but I'm more into drag racing, so I'm probably going to go the route of V8 swapping it. Not sure what V8 I'm going with, but wish I had that motor in it. TRX. By the way, if you want a good deal, this is where I work. I work at a Mopar dealership. This is my area. But yeah, definitely a struggle with this one. So this is where I'm at. I'll give her a quick fire up for you. Sounds okay with just straight pipe and long tube headers. However, next weekend I'm going to be taking it to import face-off, just run it down the drag strip, and I'm just curious to see what it does. I know it's not going to be insanely fast, but this is part of my bucket list, and I just want to race. I don't care how slow or how fast. We'll get faster as we go. But you guys tell me what you want to see in this car. V8 swap, turbocharged this engine, SR swap, or something that's well within my budget. We can do nitros, turbo, or whatever. Yeah, so just give me a second and I'll fire up real quick. Trust me when I say it was a lot louder than that before I added all that exhaust piping. Fires right up though. I'm just at limbo right now. There's a lot going on, but import face off in Oklahoma will be our first event, and gonna get some base runs, maybe have some fun while we're there, and just build off from there. So, disclaimer: if you were wondering about the TRX there and wanting to get some shots of it, here it is right here. This is the only TRX we have on the property. We have many Chargers here, including one Scat Pack. If you are interested in any of these vehicles, I'll leave a link in the description below on for a website of this dealership. If y'all want to see a little bit of our inventory, I don't mind filming it and sharing it with you guys. Pretty sick truck. We made it to import face off. Waiting right now to get teched in. But here's pretty soon we'll get started to racing. 14. I really wasn't counting. I'm gonna be honest, I let off a little bit before the finish line. Don't have a helmet, so I can't run no faster than a 14. We'll figure it out here in a second. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to hit the like button.